Korean breakfasts were traditionally skimpy, and when the party was roused at 7:30 the morning following the reception, all that was available was a large metal pot of weak tea. Ferguson downed 2 cups, and was on his third when his translator, Chunjin, appeared. Ferguson's pretend hangover amused Chunjin greatly, and the North Korean quickly suggested a cure, an ill-smelling concoction mixed with goat's milk from the kitchen. Ferguson wouldn't have trusted the remedy even if he'd had a real hangover. But with Chunjin watching, he decided he had to take at least a sip. His stomach revolted. He ran to the nearby washroom as Chunjin nearly doubled over laughing. Another man came in as Ferguson wiped his face at the sink. He was a North Korean soldier in full uniform. "Captain Ganji," said Ferguson. "Annyeonghaseyo." The man, a corporal, looked at him and shook his head, explaining in Korean that he was not a captain and certainly not Ganji. Ferguson apologized, then switched to Russian, saying that he admired Ganji, a very shrewd thinker and a good drinker. The soldier shook his head and told him in Korean that he didn't understand. "English?" tried Ferguson. That didn't work either. The man rattled off something far too rapidly for Ferguson to understand. "Morago hashosayo?" said Ferguson. "I'm sorry, I missed what you were saying." "He was explaining that the captain is an aide to General Namgong," said Chunjin, coming inside the room. "He spends all of his time at the capital at headquarters." "Oh, very good," said Ferguson in Russian. He laughed. "And did I meet the captain last night?" "He wasn't here." Chunjin turned to the other Korean and began quizzing him. "He says you thought he was Captain Ganji." Chunjin told Ferguson when he was finished. "Oh, I was actually trying to say good morning." "Annyeonghaseyo." "Annyeonghaseyo?" repeated Ferguson. "Doesn't sound like Captain Ganji or General Nagton to me." "Namgung," said Chunjin curtly. There was no longer any trace of amusement in his voice. "He is a very important man." "I'm sorry," said Ferguson. He turned to the other man, who had a very worried expression on his face. "I am very sorry." "Chesonghail," prompted Chunjin. "Chesonghail," said Ferguson. "You speak English very well for a Russian," said Chunjin, as the other man slipped past them. "Thank you. You know more Korean than you let on." "I keep trying." Chunjin told him in Korean that he was the bastard son of a 3-legged pig. Ferguson got the bastard but missed the rest. "You may be right," said Ferguson in Russian. "My mother was rather loose." "Come," said Chunjin, switching to English. "Let's go hunting, if your head is cleared." "Da," said Ferguson, staying in Russian. "My head feels much better." "Wait," said Chunjin as they got to the door. He reached into his jacket, and for a moment, Ferguson thought he was going to pull out a gun. Instead, he presented him with a small package. "Your business cards," he said in English. "Spasiba," said Ferguson. "Thank you." Pickup trucks with benches mounted on the sides of the beds were lined up at the front of the lodge. When all of the guests had boarded, the trucks set off, following the dirt road and passing the house where Pak had met with General Namgong. They continued along the stream for about a half-mile before coming to the edge of an overgrown field. 2 other trucks were there already waiting. These had shotguns for the men to use. "What are we hunting?" Ferguson asked his escort in Russian. "Grouse," said Chunjin in English. "I didn't know there were grouse in Korea," said Ferguson, sticking to Russian. Chunjin shrugged and led him toward the truck with the shotguns. Ferguson examined one. It was a Chinese pump design similar to a Winchester Model 12, with an inlaid pearl pattern in the highly polished stock. "They loaded?" Ferguson asked. "They will hand out ammunition when